Something that I had to learn, y'all, because I am definitely a work kind of gal. Well, I was. I think this has been the year of community. And I learned that in 6 months of really focusing on cultivating the relationships that I have, friendships that matter, has taken me further than 3 years on my lone wolf shit. Isn't that something? Now, I'm not saying you just go out there and you find anybody, right? And any of your friend will take you there. I'm talking about with intentionality. And what's beautiful is you guys have the information on how to be very intentional about what friends you have and who you let in your world. That's why we're doing that top 10 assignment where you outline who those friends are and you look at the pros and the cons of those friendships and decide who's going to stay in your life and who's going to get, put on I call it the wait list, AKA acquaintance. I do look at it that way. Like, an acquaintance is somebody who's on the wait list to be an actual friend. And it's okay. You want those networking and that sort of thing. But all of it should be as intentional, especially now that we are all getting to a place where we're wanting to like catapult our lives and take it to the next level. Time flies when you're having fun, or shit, even when you're not. And very interesting, they did a study because people always complain that like as we get older, time moves faster and faster and faster. Now, I'm not about to get into all of the brain shit about, non-locality and how we can freeze and time as a construct, but they did find that technically that is true. And what's really interesting is when our brains don't feel like there's novelty, it doesn't force us to pay attention. And when we're paying attention to every little detail, it literally slows down time, right? Like when you think about something happening in a split moment, I had to make all of these series of choices. Like if anybody ever had to like slam on the brakes or even been into a car accident, you're like, actually, in a split second, I saw everything move slow and I slammed the brakes or turned the car because of the novelty and because of our heightened awareness. Time slows down. And so when you think about being a youth or a young person, everything is new to you. Every experience that you have, probably before you're about 26, 27, is a new experience. So you can imagine how that makes youthhood feel so slow. But after you've become who you are and the monotony of your everyday life and routines, time flies by because there's nothing in your brain that says stop, slow it down, pay attention, because we don't know what the fuck is going on. Which could lead us to not living as much of a fulfilling life. The days go by, weeks go by, and we feel like we've accomplished little. So what they found in these studies is that the more novelty you introduce into your life, the longer your life will feel in a positive way. So that could look like, okay, I'm going to take a piano or learn how to roller skate, play tennis. I'm going to go and get another degree. I'm going to go make new friends. I'm going to start running. It's literally doing things that makes your brain say, I don't have enough data. Let me slow down and take this in so that I can live more. So if you want more time in a day, you do shit that you've never done before. Interesting. Y'all know I love me in studies. And how does that relate to friendships? Get you some fucking friends who don't think like you think, who don't always do the things that you do so that they can add variety and excitement into your life, especially if those friends are an ascension friend, meaning you want a little bit more of what they got without actually taking it from them, right? Because what's yours is yours and what's theirs is theirs, and you ain't never gonna get where you're going faster by swerving into another bitch's lane. Yeah, that part. So this wasn't my planned question, but I am very curious now that we've mentioned this study. What are you going to do to slow down time so that you can enjoy your life more? And when you're learning things in a new language, what's really beautiful, I don't know why there's a study kick today, so y'all just deal with the nerd shit I got in me. That learning a new language is really good for people who've experienced traumatic events because your brain cannot translate the information. So it helps you learn new things and kind of stay out of your trauma trigger brain. Because when you're a master at, say, English, which we all are, you understand so many complex words and the emotional charges that all of these words have and the nuance from our culture, from our language. But when you're learning a new language, you're learning the word and not the complex connotations of the words. So if you were learning Portuguese, right, in Rio, that word may be heavily charged. But bitch, are you in Rio? Do you have that same connotation and that same understanding? You know, like even English to Spanish, some of the words that translate, they mean something very, very different in the English language. Like in general, it means the same thing. But when we think about it and like the energy towards it, it doesn't. And, you know, it's not just about words, in words that way, but understanding that the charge to words, to emotions are very, very interconnected. And that shows in that study that I told you guys about with the babies and the snakes. They put tiny babies with these really big snakes, and the babies were just chilling and the snakes were just chilling while the mothers were like behind one-way glass, freaking the fuck out. And they're going to show that, like, the point was to show that fear is not inherited, it's taught. And the reason why you feel like that cycle of like negativity and fear, I fucking freak out because this snake is scaring me, because I've been taught from the beginning of time, it was a snake that had us all fucked up and ruined our lives, right? And now, because I have that charge, that energy, I, a powerful being, am energetically directing that snake to confirm my fear of it. But when these babies are chilling with the snakes are behaving like a fucking puppy. They're just moving on and about. And so what words and what energy and what things do we look at as a threat that's only a threat because we thought it was? How do we continue to confirm our biases? And wanting to try to stay on topic here, I think this is a perfect time to say, how do we do that with friendships while y'all still work on that first question? So you can answer either one. We say, oh, I'm not a girl's girl. I don't get along with other women. People can't be trusted. But deep inside, we're longing for community. We're longing for friendship. We're longing for connection, because we have this energy that people can't be trusted and that good people don't exist. How do we project that and stifle ourselves from having meaningful relationships with other humans around us? You went to the doctor and they said, hey, you're having heart palpitations and we may need to put a pacemaker in. We're going to have to open you up. We're going to do this surgery. But when we put it on there, there's a really, really great chance that you'll live 50 years longer than what we're predicting you live right now. What you're saying with this, like, friendship could really transform you. Community is something that you need. Healing is something that you need. But you need to be cracked open, AKA be vulnerable, and have this kind of pacemaker put on your heart so that your heart can beat regularly. You can have healthy relationships. What you're doing right now is saying, I don't know if I can heal from an open heart surgery and getting a pacemaker, so just take my heart out. And instead of healing, you think you're protecting yourself, but you're actually sabotaging yourself from living the fullness of your life. And so it seems easier to just take it out, but it doesn't get you the long-term things that you're looking for and that you want. And I can assure you that you're looking for it because it's built into your fucking DNA to want community. It's built into your DNA to want to belong somewhere. And what I was getting into is saying, as somebody who used to not prefer conflict, not because I'm afraid of conflict, but because if you trigger me, I like that shit. And I don't know when to stop. And I see red. And now, bitch, I want your life. Like, non-existent. Because I could get that angry. I had family issues. I had trust issues. I had anger issues. I had no one protected me. So now I need to protect myself. And what happens is when we don't get protected young and we don't witness that level of protection and support, when we decide to support ourselves, we go from uncovered to like fully armored warrior ready for war. And you haven't figured out that like kind of healthy boundary. And so I used to be someone who would just be like, you do something I don't like, fuck it. And I'd be the first person. There's 8 billion people in the world. Bitch, you think I need you? I'd say things like, I divorced my mom when I was 14. You think I won't leave you? I divorced the man I had 2 kids with. You think I won't leave you? Like, but then you look back and you be like, damn. And I can say even to this day, there are 2 friends that I had that I cut off at the first thing. And I look and I'm like, damn, I missed that girl. Like, I was thinking about that, not that long ago. In full transparency, like back in the day, we were cool. And I'm just like, holy shit, things are so aligned. But my boyfriend had hit on her homegirl and she didn't take my side. And I was like, girl, I'll beat all y'all asses. We were like 19. Okay, we were 19. We were 19. And now I'm like, I would have traded that boy that I was ready to fight for in a million times for a friend as pure and awesome as that person was. And obviously life goes on. You make new friends, you learn, you figure out, and who's supposed to be in your life will be in your life. But I would be remiss not to admit that like we all get scared and we fuck things up. So back to that people pleaser piece of not wanting to have conflict, not because I'm not good at speaking up for myself, but because I've got so much anger and so much fear and so much bottled in emotions inside of me. I'm like, if you flip the switch, I don't have a circuit breaker and I'm going to overload the system and I'm going to do too much or take it too far, or disrespect you or disrespect myself. And sometimes our brains only see those 2 options. I'm gonna disrespect her or I'm gonna disrespect myself. And disrespect yourself is letting shit slide. And disrespecting them is, now you didn't piss me off, so I'm about to take out on you all of this anger and all of this energy for every single person who ever crossed me because I haven't processed that anger and that grief. If I let it out, you're about to pay the price of all of those people. So I think part of your solution is facing the way that pain felt. To be able to say, I always thought when I hear the word sister, that sister is your first best friend. And my sister was my first bully. My sister was my first enemy. My sister was my first hater. And I'm fucking devastated by that. And I'm not sure if you've ever really admitted that to yourself. And I don't know if those are the descriptors to describe your relationship with your sister. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. This is just like a generalized thing. I don't want y'all thinking like I'm telling, her story. I don't know the specifics. But what would it look like to allow yourself to feel the pain and devastation that comes along with the person who was supposed to nurture and support you, not giving you what you need, and the sister who was supposed to help you understand your identity and give you the contrast to move forward in life and practice friendship? What does it look like to mourn that so you can say that's dead and that's gone? Because until you do that, every relationship, every homegirl, every woman that you see, you only can see them through the lens of the unhealed trauma you have from those first 2 early friendships and relationships. And so you don't even give me, Brittany, a chance to be your friend because you step into it like I've already done you wrong. You step into it, you say, I run after the first time they did something. The truth is your brain is calling that the final straw. It's not their first offense, it's their last offense, because this is a relationship that you are repeating over and over again. So no, you don't have no fucking grace for somebody to cross you purposely or inadvertently. because you are always on your final straw with every single bitch you come across. So how do we first take the power that you do have left to dead, or to pronounce those relationships as you imagined them dead? And it's really important to say as you imagine them, because I'm not saying that you can't be cool with your mom and your sister to move on. But I've said this before. I used to have a very definitive definition of what it meant to be mother. And as long as I kept reading the checklist off of what I thought it meant to be mother, my mom was never, ever adding up to that. And we could not really be cool and find healing until I say, my bad. So tell me a little bit more about what you do as a mom. What do you think is important? Oh, it was to provide provision, housing, food, clothes. You know what's crazy, girl? I thought you was supposed to give hugs and come to recitals. We are misaligned. Well, I do like food and shelter, so you can provide that, and I'm going to go find other ascension friends or maternal figures to cheer me on, root me on, people that I can tell big and exciting news to. What would it look like to decommission that role of sister and say, sister doesn't mean blood. Sister means, for me, sister or friend means someone who understands where I came from and doesn't judge it. Someone who fucks with me for who I am right now, and someone who's excited for the vision of where I see myself going. If you meet those three qualifications, and I wouldn't mind having some aspects of your life, because if I'm around you long enough, I'm gonna start doing some shit that you do. It's just what we do. Then, hey sis.
A deep, deep thank you goes out to you, BaeFriend, for tuning into the Shift Show. I'm Britteny Floyd-Mayo, founder of Trap Yoga Bae, your positive psychology advocate, and master confidence coach. I'm so glad that you joined me on this journey of self-discovery and transformation. My goal with Shift Show is to bring you real, raw, and unfiltered clips from live coaching sessions that can inspire you to live your best life and get your shit together. I'm so glad you joined me on this journey of self-discovery and transformation. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Trap Yoga Bae to find out how you can be in the room live, as well as catch behind the scenes content and daily inspiration. You can listen to Shift Show everywhere you listen to audio. You name it, bitch, I'm there. Thanks for being a part of my BaeFriend community. Stay fabulous, keep shining, and remember, you can get your shit together so you can keep your shit together. Until next time, BaeFriends. Mwah.